Okay, this movie is pretty weird, pretty twisted, but also hard to look away from. Let's talk about Saltburn. Saltburn is a new movie directed by Emerald Fennell, and it stars Barry Keoghan, Jacob Elordi, Rosamund Pike, Richard Grant, and so many other talented actors. And so the basic premise of this movie is about a guy named Oliver, played by Barry Keoghan. Okay, so he's attending Oxford University, where he meets a fellow student played by Jacob Elordi. And throughout the movie, they become close friends, I guess you could say that. And he gets invited to this guy's family home. And this guy's family home is massive. I mean, huge. It makes Wayne Manor look like a shack. I don't know what these people do for money. It wasn't really made super clear, but this place was huge. And anyway, this family is very strange. They're very odd. Rosamund Pike in this movie, she is so good. I loved her. There's just something, you can definitely feel the disconnect between these people and just the regular Joe Schmoes like us. They don't feel the same kind of things. They look down on people. They don't understand what's going on in the world. They have a very skewed view. They're just sitting in basically this giant palace, living this ridiculous over-the-top life, having these elaborate parties. They dress up for dinner. They have all these different weird rules. It's a very strange family, and Oliver tries to fit in as best as he can, but, this is an odd family, and he's a man of little means, so he's not really from their world, and that is where things start to get interesting. Barry Keoghan did a fantastic job in this movie. This is a very talented actor. I've liked him a lot since I first saw him. The first thing I saw him in was Dunkirk. He had a smaller role in that movie, but since then, he's been blowing up. He was in Eternals, which was actually not a good movie, but it was certainly not because of him. He is a very talented actor. I think he's proving himself over and over again in everything he's doing. He really made you care about Oliver, and I really connected with Oliver because he comes off as kind of this broken guy. He's this guy who's like the last kid picked for the baseball team. He was basically like me. My, high school years, I was not super popular and I felt a lot like Oliver. And so I thought Barry Keoghan did a very good job bringing out this feeling of what it's like to be the last man standing, the scraps of society. I thought he was great, and I think everyone is going to really appreciate his acting in this movie. He possibly could be getting some awards talk, but I'm not really sure. Jacob Elordi in this movie, he's kind of fascinating, isn't he? He is a little bit magnetic. You do feel drawn to him. I understand why Oliver was wanting to become friends with him. This guy seems like, the cool guy. Not to mention, he's extremely loaded, and it's never a bad thing to have some rich friends, so you can get invited to their giant sophisticated mansions and have really awkward dinner conversations with their weird-ass family. I never saw Euphoria. I don't know if I'm going to, but, I know he's from that. I thought he did a really good job in this movie. I thought he was super entertaining. He was very memorable and super magnetic. Just a magnetic personality that makes me want to be friends with the guy. So this movie is billed as a comedy thriller, and I don't think I agree with that. To me, it seems more like a drama thriller. There's definitely some humor to be had, but for the most part, this movie felt pretty serious. I didn't find myself laughing very much, but there was definitely a few scenes where I found myself covering my mouth in shock, because there is just some odd stuff going on in this movie. They're going for some shock value here, and definitely people are going to be shocked. There's definitely some scenes in this movie that have already been made public by people, and I will just say those scenes are everything you think you've heard about them. When I first fired up this movie, I noticed that it was shrunk into the middle of my picture. It's shot in 4:3, and I thought that was a very interesting choice. At first, I thought something was wrong with my TV, but then I realized, nope, this was the intention of the director, and I thought it worked out really well for this movie. It didn't really make me feel like I was being gypped of some immaculate photo opportunities. I thought this movie looked and sounded fantastic, and I thought it had a very good, unique, independent vibe. I don't think it's an independent film. Maybe it is, but it definitely has a unique independent film quality to it. And I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really well shot, excellently directed. There was a lot of stuff that I really took a lot of enjoyment out with this movie. So after I got done watching this movie, I started thinking about what am I going to score this movie. I thought there was a lot of stuff I really enjoyed about this movie. It had some really cool twists towards the end. I'm letting you know that. The way I saw this movie heading in the beginning is not where it ended up. And I really appreciated it for throwing me for a loop.
Oh, that's just giving me goosebumps. Look.
And so for that matter, I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. I think it's highly recommended. I think a lot of people are going to find it very entertaining. A lot of people are also going to find some of the scenes kind of strange. and it's supposed to be strange. This is supposed to be an odd look at a weird family. We're supposed to feel disconnected from these people. These are people that most of us will never connect with. These are massively rich people. And so we're not supposed to understand everything about this movie. We're not supposed to, feel like we're connecting with every one of these characters. But the characters that you are supposed to connect with, I think you do. And so I think it's a great movie. I would definitely recommend it. I think people should watch it. And if you thought this review was interesting and if it helps sway your decision, please like this video. And if you want to see more things like this brand new purple hat, then subscribe to this channel. All right, that's all I got for you. Later.